Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and Ramadan Mubarak. So this is actually the debut of SFE. Now that acronym has two meanings: seriously funny English and strong foundational English. How's that for a double entendre, which itself is not an English term? English is funny and it's hilarious. English is seriously necessary for people to advance in their jobs. Being bilingual has its advantages. Many English speakers wish that they could speak another language as fluently as they speak English. Maybe one day they will be able to. It depends on how well they study, and the same thing goes for you in terms of studying English. How well you practice and how well you study will determine your ability to speak English correctly. Students, especially those of you in the Arabian Peninsula, and more specifically those of you in Saudi Arabia, take this advice from me. This will be the one time that I upload something for free to either YouTube or Odyssey or Patreon or any other platform to which I will make these uploads. English is not the easiest language in the world, and it is not the most difficult language in the world. Much like Arabic, English has its rules. English has fewer rules and more exceptions than Arabic. Arabic has more rules and less exceptions, fewer exceptions than English. But English is organized. It does have rules. Writing and speaking correctly in English are not difficult, but they take practice and training. And they take knowledge of a few rules. Most of the difficulties you find in English are really based on the educational system there in the Gulf and especially in Saudi. A generation ago, when your teachers and your parents were the students, their teachers intentionally taught them a few mistakes that would make the rest of the language difficult. Fast forward back to today. You went through or are now going through the educational system that is staffed by the teachers who were victims of their own teachers. Your teachers are not intentionally teaching you incorrectly. They don't want you to fail. They may not care, but they're not looking for you to fail. Your teachers were taught wrong. I'm here to fix that for you. There are largely two mistakes that make everything else more difficult. In this program that I have put together over 7 years of teaching in Saudi Arabia, I will start by correcting these first two mistakes. Your job as the student is to repeat these corrections to yourself and to not repeat the errors thereafter. When you do that, and you have solidified in your mind the corrections to these first two mistakes and replaced the mistakes themselves with the corrections, you may move on. The rest will become easier in steps. So long as you take what I have taught you and you repeat this in your lives outside of this electronic classroom, you will find that English will become easier. You will find the humor in English. You will find that you can build a strong foundation in English while still enjoying the serious funniness of English, if you want to call it that. The correct word is humor. But English can be a source of laughter. If you want to get to that point, then once you have paid the fees, start on lesson 1. I sincerely hope this helps you. Thank you for listening, and I will see you at the first lesson.